Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Spriggs, and this is my muzzle loader project that I completed for this lab. Let's see if I can get the GoPro to. When I first got my box, I just took everything out and separated it, organized it, and I just put all the parts in this magnetic tray, and that just made it really easy to keep everything contained. I started with the stock inletting on the butt pad, and then I did my lock and trigger inletting. I just took the barrel tenons and drifted them into place, and then I tried to fit my barrel with my lock, but when I first tried, I couldn't get this hammer and nipple to line up. It was coming off to the side, so I had to remove quite a bit of material underneath the barrel for it to sink low enough for the hammer and nipple to match, and I had to remove a ton of material off the top just so the tangs sat flush. I then tried to figure out the thimbles, and that was probably the hardest part, because I didn't understand how to countersink and drill, and I didn't understand which screws to use, because the instructions didn't really specify which screws went where, so that took a little bit of figuring out. I coated the barrel with Brownell's Alumihide Semi-Gloss because I figured it would be a really good rust preventive, and I figured the semi-gloss would look good with the red mahogany and brass. And it definitely turned out pretty nice. After I got everything set up, I coated the barrel and did all the sanding, finishing. I used Minwax red mahogany and Minwax finisher, and it turned out pretty nice. I like the color of it. It goes well with the brass and black. After everything was ready to go, I took the barrel and drifted my sights. I installed my nose cap. I kind of wish that the screws sat a little bit more flush. I may have screwed that up a tiny bit. But my final assembly, I drifted the pins, the tenons in, and then I took some of this plastic wood and filled the holes for the drill, and then I restained those little holes with a Q-tip with the same red mahogany. That way it wasn't such an eyesore. The hardest part for me was figuring out what screws were supposed to go, or what screws were used with what part. I wish the instructions were a little bit more clear, but it just took some messing around, especially the thimbles. I'd say the thimbles were also a huge struggle for me, just because I couldn't understand how they worked. And I've never countersunk anything before, so it took a little bit of research and problem solving to get those to work. And the last, probably the biggest struggle was actually drifting the barrel tinions, because it just took forever. I had to remove a lot of material to get them to even budge into the channels, and I actually took too much material off one. So this front one, it was a little bit, it would pop back out. So all I did was I installed the pin on the opposite side. That way it would push against the tinion as it went through, instead of the other way and possibly dislodging it. That's my project. Worked out really nice. I learned a lot. It was time consuming, but I'm pretty happy with the result. Thank you.